Hey there! You're listening to Becoming More Me, the podcast for busy minded entrepreneurs who want to be more and do less. These episodes are here to inspire you to become more of the person you feel called to be in this world and let it be easy and full of pleasure. I'm your host, Teresa Lear-Levy, and I am an ADHD mom of 4 boys, and I love to geek out on the subconscious mind and nervous system. Over the years, I've become an expert at leveraging those things to help myself and my clients get out of our own way, shed light on our shadows, and call our power back so that we can make the never-ending journey of becoming one we truly love getting present for. Today, I'm chatting with Petia Kolibova. Petia is an intuitive life and business coach for women. She's also a new mom. She guides women to intuitively connect their inner vision so they can experience personal and professional magnetism and become unapologetically abundant, which also happens to be the name of her podcast. Her mission is to empower visionaries on the path to embody their fullest self-expression, to soulfully expand into a quantum leap in all dimensions of their lives. She does this by amplifying the clarity of those she works with and providing exact steps to unlock the divine feminine and abundance mindset. Ooh, we are going to get into that and it will be juicy. Like me, she loves helping clients reach their next level in life and business. Petia is the host of Unapologetically Abundant, where she interviews awesome experts. And when she's not doing that, she loves to read, travel the world with her husband and baby girl Sophia. And she loves to get out in nature so that she can connect even deeper to herself. Hey, it's all about the joy, the gratitude, and abundance of this journey, isn't it? And it all starts now. Hey, everybody, and welcome, Petia. I'm so glad you're here. I'm really excited about this conversation, and I would love to start by not diving into the business side of things, but diving into who you are personally, who you like spending your time with, where you live. I don't know. We were just talking about what you like to drink. That's a great topic too. What you enjoy doing, hobbies, whatever. Just tell us the essence of you and what you love, please.
This is so beautiful, and I love that you're starting with that because it's so easy. People get so wrapped up about what are you doing, but they forget the part of who you're being, right? Which so aligns with what you stand for and what you're teaching. And it is really beautiful. And without like putting any labels, it's even more freeing. So what I love the most, besides my little family and my little daughter, when she lets me sleep, when she lets me sleep, I love her even more if that's possible. I truly love nature. I love water. My husband calls me mermolphin, mermaid, because I love water. It's like anywhere, like shower, bath, pond, lake, river, waterfall, ocean. I don't care. It's a water. It's my soul. And you know what's funny? We live in the middle of the desert. We live in Las Vegas. So this mermaid is getting dried. But we lived one year in over one year in Mexico, and we were like 10 minutes away from a beach. So that was very life-giving. But fortunately, my husband doesn't like tropical. So we're letting the universe surprise us where we will end up, because now I'm in a stage of like, I feel like we're in a stage of birthing babies. I just had one. My daughter is 10 months. So most of my time, really, I invest in my family, in my daughter. I am a stay-at-home mama, and I work literally just a couple days a week. And I'm so grateful that I can do that.
Nice.
And when I'm not interviewing or working with my clients, I'm outside. Anywhere I can be. Usually, like right now, we're in California. So I'm like laying in my hammock and just like sipping on, I love lime water with a dash of
Mm,
stevia. That's like my favorite drink. And I just get really bored with regular water. So, I put like fresh mint and strawberries.
yes.
And usually I'm drinking all year long herbal teas because we have absolutely amazing, I love her to life herbalist in Las Vegas that
Nice.
she grows everything. And then I'm like, oh, I want something for energy, and I want something for sleep, and I want it's like you just order and then just get all the plants and flowers. It is so
Mm.
beautiful. So that's really like my most favorite drink. And I personally in my family, we're vegan, so I love cooking at home and baking at home. And it's just real life giving when we can all come together. And my daughter now, she knows how to stand up. So I'm cooking or doing dishes and she's like grabbing my like legs, and standing.
Oh,
So you
I
cannot get much done, but it's so cute.
yes, I remember those days. And yeah, it is. It's this tug of war almost between what you feel like you should be doing or want to be doing and just wanting to like soak up those precious moments because they definitely don't last.
And that's why, like, really, like, I was so our pregnancy was pregnancy after loss. I had a loss year and a half ago with our twins. So I feel like it made me even more present mama and even more unapologetic mama because my family and my daughter, it's going too fast. So I'm really investing my energy in what is a heaven yes for me, full body yes for me. Because when you think about it, Teresa, every single time I say yes to something, I'm saying no to her. And she's pretty cute. So I don't want to say many no's to her. So I feel like it really deepened my relationship with myself, with my business, and with my family. Like really becoming even more me. Because there's really not much wiggle room to be wearing mask or pretending or trying to people please. Like, no, like I have a few hours, they're good hours in a day with her until we get fussy because we want, more milk or we want to take a nap. So I'm really very conscious about enjoying it. And honestly, Teresa, it's
Yeah.
breaking my heart when I see the mamas who cannot be with their kids because they get to go back to work. Like, I personally feel like I would die. It's like, it's a piece of me. You know what I mean? My
Yes.
daughter, it's literally created within me, within my womb. And when I see the mamas that they have to go back in like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks to back to work, I'm like,
Heartbreaking.
I can't. Like, even when she was 6 months, when she started to be 6 months, that's when I started to finally feel creative and coming out of my baby bubble and going back into my business in a more unapologetic way, but leaving her all day somewhere. I can't imagine. So
I
that's
couldn't
why,
do it either.
right?
And so
Like,
many people don't have the choice. We don't
yes
have that
and
same
no.
community that we used to have where other women help other women and we take care of each other and everything else. There's this feeling that we're all these kind of like lone wolves out there trying to do things all by ourselves. And it's not true, but it's things have changed a lot.
And it's funny because I was just talking about it with like fellow mama. She has two little boys, and I was texting. I was like, I don't know how you do it when you have two little ones because I have full hands and like full boobs with one. And there are days that I'm like, I just hand her to my husband. I was like, I gotta get out of the house. I
Mhm.
need to be in my own space. And we were just texting about it. Like it's not like before that your mother is there, grandma is there, aunts are there, neighbors can be helping. And I feel like it's really sad that we drifted into this like superwoman era. Like, I can do it all, I can do it alone, I can go to work, I can take care of my body, I can take care of my baby, and it's all alone. We're not
Right.
meant to do this alone. And so
No.
it's
And
really
it
sad.
shifts us into much more of our like masculine energy instead
Mhm.
of the divine feminine. And I know for me, that's something that I've been working hard to shift out of for the last few years. I felt so much of that like hustle, strive, push, do it all, handle it on my own, I can do it, and, like holding up the world. So, yeah.
Same here. Ends up, sister. Literally, most of my life, and even first my business, I had social media marketing agency. I was so much in my masculine, but it was the wounded masculine. It's not the healthy provider,
Hmm.
protector masculine. It was the hustler and proving myself and like fighting and pushing. And it made me literally sick. I was sick every 3 weeks. I
Mm,
would like push really hard. Then I would get sick. My body would shut me off. And I had to learn. And this wasn't conscious. My body just pushed me. God,
right.
source, universe, whatever we want to believe in, literally pushed me and like, Petya, you're not doing this anymore. You can't. So I was literally stopped. I couldn't do it. I couldn't continue. And I started to realize what the feminine energy is, what the receptivity is, how to
Yeah.
work with the energetics and not just with the head and strategies. Literally, Teresa, when I try to work only like head and logical and strategies, I get headache. I get tired. I get irritated. Like my body, it's like, no, there
Yeah, me
has to
too.
be a
Me too.
beautiful balance between masculine and feminine because if we're only in our feminine, let's be honest, we don't get anything done. I would be in my hammock and just like leisurely living my life, but I wouldn't
Being
get
the
anything.
goddess that you
Yep,
are.
yep. Sign me up for that. But I went from like one extreme to the next extreme,
Yeah.
like too much masculine and too much feminine. So I had to learn there is a time to go and there is a time to flow.
I
And when
like
you
that.
can distinguish between those two, you create the balance, even though life is crazy. Trust me, having a 10-month-old is crazy and you know. Nothing goes as you plan at all.
Nope, it doesn't.
They
And
have their own lives.
yeah, it's crazy. So I know, Petia, like what you do as part of your work and your purpose is helping to guide your clients to unlock that divine feminine and unlock that abundance mindset. So here I am saying, like, I'm at this kind of new levels, new devils place where I'm personally working on this right now. And I've very much been in my masculine these last few years. And now I'm very much in a place of wanting to be open and receive and embrace more of the feminine. Where would you suggest someone like me start, or how would you coach someone to make that shift?
Ooh, I love that question. And I am so like inspired by you that you're like so open about this. And because if you're going through this, you're not alone. It's not only
Oh,
you.
no. I'm
So
always going through something. I have never figured it all out, and I probably never will. So, but I can excellently guide people through it too. So you can be both.
and And this is amazing because I feel like the hardest person to coach is ourselves. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't believe you have uncoachable clients who would be like so
Yeah.
stubborn they would do like no work because that's not who you will be attracting, but you will be the tester of like, let me see everything that's not working. And I'm curious, before we dive into the feminine and some of the tips that I can give you, do you know your human design, Teresa?
Yeah, 6'2", manifesting generator.
Of course you are.
Of
Because
course I
what
am.
I love human design. Literally, it's changed my life. I would say it saved my marriage because my husband, it's Money Jenny, and he's 1-3. So the 3 is the person who will always go through something, is the person who will always go through the trial and error and error and error and error and error. And they're like, ooh, okay, I'm not going to do this ever again. And then you do it again. Because
Well, I don't even have that, and I feel like I do that.
yeah,
So,
but the beautiful thing, so my husband, he won't ever change. With you, with the age, you will mature. With you, you will really step into the role model, which 6 is, and you will step into it and see more of your gifts, more of your innate powers. You will start trusting your intuition more. And I feel like that's what you're stepping into now.
good.
Like, I am done with doing everything like everybody else. I want to do it my way, and I'm trusting myself, and there's a better way, and it can be easier. So you're really the role model that is showing people one, how not to do it because you have done it. You're like, this doesn't work, and I tried 10 times. And the 6, like coming into the role model, you're bringing in more peace. You're bringing in more satisfaction in your life because you're starting, and it's like, why it doesn't surprise me, becoming more me. That's like the energy of the 6, because the more of you are, the richer is your life experience, the more peace and satisfaction you will be feeling in your life. And as the manifesting generator, you will just be doing many different things at the same time. I'm married to one of you. So I'm just like sitting here because I'm 5'1", I'm like just sitting here and witnessing my husband, like doing 10 things at the same time. I was like, I'm tired just watching you, but it is so powerful.
What is the
So
5'1" profile? I don't know it as well as you do. What is that?
the 1, it's like the investigator, and the
Okay.
5, it's like the what is it they call it, the heretic,
Okay.
so it's basically the one who comes here to lead people out of the old paradigms and teach a new way, but it's a really unique way. Like my clients who are like 5s that I see, they're creating very unique ways and pairing things that like normally you wouldn't even think of. Like I have a client who has right now harmonizing business, but not only she organizes the home, she also harmonizes through life coaching. So life coach who comes to organize your home, I'm like, how brilliant is that? And those are my fives, they're doing things differently, breaking the old paradigms. But I really love the sixes because the sixes are on the top of the mountain, looking down, and you're not, it's funny, I know it won't sound good, but you're not meant to like come down and get like dirty and get into the mundane. No, you're meant to be truly the light for other people, the example for other people, the embodiment. So the six, it's the embodiment, and I feel like it's so life-giving. So that's why you don't have to say any numbers, but later in age, you're stepping into that. And the wiser you're in age, the easier life will become when you let it, because the life will be flowing through you and you will let your wise sage that it's always has been there, but you will let her talk. You will let her show up. You will let her
Yeah.
be. There will be less overthinking. There will be less overanalyzing. There will be a little less trial and error, because you will be full embodiment of that
Yeah.
version of you and that becoming. So it is so perfect, Teresa, because I feel like everything that you're desiring, your desires are divine. They're really coming through. And to bring in that balance and really that full satisfaction in your body, you really
Mm.
get to bring in the feminine energy, because she is the one who will like create the deliciousness, the pleasure, the receptivity. So it's a
Yep.
new levels of abundance on all levels. Because
Yep.
when I teach about abundance, it's truly holistic abundance. There are a million other coaches who you can come and say like, hey, can you teach me how to make 10K a month? I don't care about anything else. And they will tell you like, do cold sales call, do cold DMs, do whatever, right? Like, is the do. I teach my clients how to become the energetic match for more abundance in your
Right.
health, in your relationships, with your kids, with your family, with your clients. So it's actually pleasurable, it's enjoyable, the people you get to serve, and it's just so beautiful. So this was a huge walk around, but I feel like you enjoyed it
I did.
because it's all about you and I love it. Because other people who will be listening will be resonating, and that's why I say like I cannot imagine my life and business without human design, because it
Yeah.
helps me see people on such a deeper level.
Yeah.
So for the women who are like, well, I have done it, I have tried, I've been in my masculine, I desire to step into the feminine. So what I do with my clients, I do somatic work. I love doing breath work, inner dance, which is Kundalini activation process. Breath work can still feel a little bit masculine because it's doing, right? When I do in my clients inner dance, which is Kundalini activation process, it's more feminine because it's just doing nothing, connecting to the source. It's really letting the energies come through. And when I do it with my clients, I use light language, energy healing, and it's coming back to your body, honoring your body. So somatic work, coming back to your body, feeling your body, honoring your body. It can be as easy as every single day, non-negotiable. And you can try it and let me know for the next like 10 days, every single day, choose one song and dance to it. I know it
I
gets,
just did that while I was making my lunch today. My cousin sent me a text message, which was just kind of random, and she's like, recommending a dance break. And I did it while I was making some soup before I got on here with you. So
yes, I
well timed.
loved it. You see like how beautifully it really aligns. This is just like another reminder. It's meant to be. So doing the somatic work and connecting to your senses as a woman. What are you wearing? How you're feeling in it? How is the material? Are you enjoying what you're drinking, eating? Listen, sometimes I literally have to hand off my daughter to my husband. I was like, I want to enjoy this food, even if it's just like 5 minutes, you
Just
know?
me. Just me.
So it is different when you're mama. I get it. But still, I promise you have 2 minutes a day that you can dedicate to yourself, even if it's when you're showering, even when it's like waking up, going to the bathroom, having some essential oils, having
Hmm.
some natural oils with no fragrances, because that's like a major hormonal
Hmm.
disruptor, like going back into your body, like feeling it, sensations, allowing yourself to receive. It's a huge one. Many of my clients, they struggle with receiving. They're
Yep.
excellent givers and then they forget to receive. Like, giving you compliments, people like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's like somatic work, coming to back to your body, coming back to your breath, um, going into sensations and sensuality in your
Yeah.
life whenever you can, slowing down just a little bit and start receiving, even like journaling about what are all the things that you're receiving: a fresh air, a hug, kiss, smile, flowers. There is so much we're already receiving. Start noticing it, start celebrating it, start really
Yes.
being in that essence and allowing yourself, and then working also on the energetic part.
Right.
When
I
we
totally agree with all of this. I actually just started, I don't know if you've noticed, I started doing a like 90-day, 3-month thing on pleasure on my social media. So, because I feel like this sort of thing is overlooked for the power that it contains. And also, pleasure is one of those things, these sensations, they have no ceiling to how much we can receive or how much we can expand into them. Whereas pain has a definite ceiling. I mean, at some point we can only experience so much and we're dead. So it's there's a difference there, but we're more familiar with pain and we're less familiar with expanding into pleasure. And I know when I dove into this last year, like full force, there was a lot of pleasure backlash, like feeling like, oh, I don't know if I can receive all this, or like this might just be too much. Like maybe this much pleasure will kill me. There was like almost like a fear with it because it wasn't something that I was familiar with going that deep with or kind of dancing with. So I appreciate you bringing that up because it really is important, and we all have time to do something that feels amazing in our day.
and it can be very little. Like I said, sometimes it's just like me in the morning, like rubbing a little bit of essential oil on me, just a little bit, because I have my daughter on me all the time. It's those little things, or when you're like brushing your hair, like feeling it, enjoying it. Like I used to remember my grandma when she was like playing with my hair. That was like my favorite thing in the whole universe.
Mhm.
So like allowing yourself to receive the pleasure and really looking at also like how can you heal your relationship with the feminine? Because for me, I used to always think feminine is weak, looking at my mom, looking at my grandma, love them to life. And it's passed through the generations. So
Yes.
looking at how can you heal your relationship with feminine, what does feminine even mean to you? It can be
Yeah.
different for each and every one of us,
The
right?
women that came before me were not diving into pleasure.
Oh heck no, they didn't even know they could.
No.
They couldn't. So it's beautiful. And I love it about you and me and us and your listeners. We are the cycle breakers.
Hmm.
We are the generational healers. Like we
Yes.
are.
And
Because we
also, cycle breaking is some hard work because you don't have that person to role model it for you. You have to hold the space for you. You have to find new boundaries and everything else. And it can feel like a lot sometimes. So just honoring that also.
It is a lot. It truly is, like healing, it's never linear. It's never fun. Let's be honest. Like when the healing is fun, right? Like sometimes like you
It can be
you lose mind.
fun. It can be fun sometimes.
Yeah, but most of the times when you dig really deep, when you're breaking the cycle and the things that have been never done before,
Yeah,
and people understand, maybe your closest circle,
it
and
feels
that's
like
like,
shit.
yep. And the full circle, it's back to we're not meant to do this alone.
Hey, are you hearing this? Are you wondering if pleasure could be the elixir or the fuel that maybe you're missing with the upgrades and next level aspirations that you have for your life? I know it never occurred to me until I was in my 40s that letting things be easy, just being, matching the frequency of what I want to magnetize, and allowing pleasure to lead the way could actually change my entire life. All areas of it. And of course, my business too. And if you're like I was, and you're wondering how to essentially speed things up by slowing down, then we should really hop on a call and have a chat because I have uncovered so many unlocks, unblocks, breakthroughs, and insights around this that could literally change your life. That why would you want to keep doing what you're doing? Hmm? head on over to gamechangingconversation.com. You can grab a spot on my calendar directly from there, and I will personally meet with you to discuss your challenges and give you some great insights on how to kind of make the next steps or get the next unlocks on the path that you're going down. It'll be great, and I look forward to connecting with you. And also, if you're following me on Instagram at Teresa Lear Levine, or if you're not, go follow me. I just began recently a 90-day pleasure focus over there. So there are tons of reels. There's often mentions in my story and education that you can receive around pleasure as fuel for everything that you're trying to transform, change, or next level about your life and business. So check that out on the gram, and I will see you there.
Like I feel like we get to have community or friends or mentor or coaches who we can lean back onto, who we can be unapologetically ourselves and really express where we truly are, because sometimes our partners, they don't want to hear it. Sometimes our family cannot get it, right? It can be a lot. I'm not expecting my husband to be everything for me.
No.
So that's why we get to have a female who can really, really create that space for me. I had a friend who is a fellow mama, and she was like, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I need just a break for myself. So she did a breathwork session with me, and she paid me almost double. I'm like, why are you tipping me so much? I'm like, your friend. I would like even like give her a discount, but she like paid me almost double. She was like, I have never felt this safe before. And I feel like we need to create this. We need to feel safe. To be unapologetically who we are and who we came here to be, we need to feel safe. We need to create those safe spaces, safe environments where we can express whatever it's coming up, however we are feeling, honoring that we can have a feeling that life and feminine energy can be really chaotic. It's not all pretty and soft, let's be honest. Like I always think about, like when I started on my feminine journey, I was thinking it's like, oh, pretty like cute dresses and feminine. And the feminine can be pretty fierce. Like look at nature. Like I feel like Tsunami, it's pretty feminine, she can like draw and clear everything. So I feel like embracing the wholeness, the light and the darkness, and working with those shadows, doing a shadow work, doing the embodiment work, working on the energetics, doing the somatic work, it all comes together. And then it's going to be reflecting in your life, in your health, in your relationship, but also in your business.
Yeah.
When I was able to bring in the feminine, that was the first time when I actually made 5-figure months. When I started to work on my feminine, it wasn't before. Before I was literally at like 4 side hustles, and I
Mm,
was exhausted. And
yeah.
I made maybe between $2,000 and $4,000, and I was working my booty off, literally
Mhm.
working all the time. And then the first month when I made $13,000, I was on vacation with my grandma. I worked only when she was napping. I was back in Europe. And I was shocked. And it was such a huge proof of when you bring in the feminine, when you bring in and you're open yourself up to receptivity, things can happen so much faster and easier.
Yes, absolutely. I had a question back from when you were talking about bringing people into alignment with energetic matches for abundance and things like that, which I totally love doing too. And I have my own answers around this, but I'm curious on yours. Do you find, and how do you get through this, that people have difficulty trusting the process? And, when they're so used to doing things in another way, and how do you like to kind of help people to trust it, believe, and to reap the results of that?
Mhm. I love that question. And I feel personally that there are two ways that we can look at it. Because when we're starting and when we struggle to trust the process because we're the doer and we think like doing equals having, instead of being, um, I feel like first you get to give your mind some evidence, right? Because you cannot jump just into the energetics and say like, oh, there's a divine timing and process and it will work. And let me just trust, when there are things that you still get to do in this 3D reality, right? Like pay bills and take care of things. And so sometimes it's hard to trust any process that we are going through. So one, is giving your mind some evidence, right? Like working through those fears, giving it evidence. It is possible that it can happen, and bringing in those limiting beliefs, anything that it's coming up, like recognizing, respecting, reframing, and then releasing. It's a process that I love doing with my clients, because very often we like want to shut things off, like, oh, this is bad, I'm not supposed to do it. And it's like so easy to say, like, but this, but that. But when we don't respect what is coming up, the fears or the limiting beliefs, and we are just like brushing it off, it will stay inside. So giving your mind some evidence. When did I trust that and it worked in the past? Reconnecting to your intuition, looking at other people who have done it, but your way. In the past, Teresa, I would like hire mentors who had the things that I wanted to have, but they got there the way I didn't want to be there. Like I didn't want to work 7 days a week. I didn't want to hustle. I didn't want to do like cold calls and
Yeah. Then they're just
things.
not the right mentor.
I didn't know it back then, right?
Yeah.
So looking at other people who are where you want to be and are doing things you would love to do, or like admiring, but the way you want to. Like my mentor, she has 3 kids, 3 little ones. Her smallest one, it's only 2 weeks older than my daughter. So I'm like, yeah, I'm listening to you. You're making, between 50 to $100,000 a month. You have 3 kids and you have a little farm. I'm listening, right? I'm
Mhm.
not going to be listening to, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's where I am in my stage of my life. A single girl who is traveling the world and who is saying like, oh, you can have like 6 figures easily, and she's recording videos from her pool. I'm like, oh, you don't
Yeah.
get it. It's different way how you lead in a business. So
Yes.
one, that's the evidence. And then it's really coming into the energetics and working on the energetic work. Like, who am I being? Am I being really the much? And it depends of whatever you want to be calling into your life. Do you desire to call in love? Do you desire to call in more money, more aligned clients? Like whatever it is, am I the energetic match for it? Am I saying that I want more of this, but this other energy is showing up, like pending energy or waiting energy or like stagnant energy? Well, where else it is showing up in my life? Where else I'm not like, am I waiting to pay someone? Am I waiting to do something? Am I pending somewhere else? And this is just coming back to me. So looking at the energetics, because trusting like I'm like an impatient person, kids teach you patience, but I
Yes.
had to learn to trust the process. But I was able to look back and say, okay, when I trust that, it worked. When I went with my intuition, it worked. How did it feel like in my body? I had to pause. And like, how is that saying? Slow down to speed up. Even if the slowing down is just 2 minutes, it can make a huge difference. Did it answer
Absolutely.
the question?
Yes. I mean, there's an entire chapter in my book called Slow is the New Fast. So I
I get to read your book yet.
it's yeah, I totally relate to all of that. So as we wrap up, because I know you've got a beautiful baby waiting for you and I want to be respectful of your time, tell us a little bit about how you work with people and also how we can find out more about what you're up to.
So my favorite way to connect with people, it's on Instagram, as you can tell.
Me too.
I'm getting like finally like more creative. So I started like a TikTok, and I'm like recording my mother entrepreneur journey there. So I'm on everything that's on under Petia Kolibova, my Instagram. I even started new Instagram, like the holistically minded mama, because I didn't want to put all my mama content on my, a business page. So on Instagram, on my podcast, Unapologetically Abundant, those are my two favorite places to work with me. You can just see like what I have available, because I have some programs like 5 weeks to 5 figures. I'm going to be launching program Magnetic Mama, that it's for my mamas who desire to be magnetic even when our priorities completely change. I have a free masterclass for that. And if you want to learn more about me and see if we are perfect fit and get you to sign up, you can just schedule a free call that it's called Magnetic Me Meeting, where I can see where you are in your life, in your
Yeah.
business, and really see how you can be like, I know you will walk away from that meeting feeling more magnetic on all other areas of your life. And then we can see if we're a good fit for working together, because I'm very selective of who I work with. I told you, every single time I say yes to something, I'm saying no to my
Yep.
daughter.
Me
So
too. People always message me and they're like, what's the price? How can I pay? And I'm like, no, 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 we got to talk first. I got to make sure that I'm going to enjoy spending time with you as much as you think you're going to enjoy spending time with me, and make sure it's a match, because otherwise it's not going to be good.
yeah, and I really honor you for that because I know that many women they're still in their like people pleasing and I should and
Oh, I did
like
that already.
yep, we did that done that.
I
Me
did it
too.
already.
So I
I'm
love
still
it.
finding ways that I can curtail the people pleasing. It still exists in places where I think I've taken care of it, but we figure it out as we go.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
it's
I
impossible to
love
really
your
fully
honesty.
heal anything, is it? I mean, like we're always going to find,
Love,
as we
love.
ascend or as we descend even and into the depths of what we can feel, there's always something new to discover. There's always some new way that it's like, oh crap, I thought I took care of that. Nope.
That's how
Do it
I
again.
found like recently. I'm like, I thought I already did that. I already healed that. What do you mean there is another layer? So
Nope.
I get it. I get it. So that's why is it important to me? Like some of my clients, they like, I literally had like clients who like hire me through DM, which is fantastic because it saves us time and we just like
Sure.
voice message like questions. But I love connecting with people. You can feel the energy, Teresa, like
So important.
face to face, smile to smile. You can feel the energy. You're like, yeah, I want to do my life and business like her. Let's do this. So for that I created my magnetic me meeting. I'll send you the link. It's a free 30 minutes call with me and it's very life-giving.
Perfect. I will make sure all that information ends up in the show notes. And I'm glad I got to be here with your energy today. It's beautiful energy. And for anybody who's listening and not watching, Petia just looks radiant. She said she didn't sleep at all last night, but it's deceiving. So, anyway, I'm thoroughly looking forward to being on your podcast soon and continuing the conversation there, because I feel like we still have a lot to talk about. So, for all of you who tuned in to listen today, thank you so much. I know you have literally millions of choices to choose from when you choose a podcast to listen to, and I appreciate you choosing Becoming More Me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for spending some of your precious time with me today. If you loved this episode, please leave a review or simply share it with someone else who would get great benefit from it too. If you share on social media, please tag me so I can personally connect and thank you. Until next time, keep taking bold and brave steps towards becoming more of who you want to be in this world. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough. And if your inner critic is still trying to argue with those facts, hit me up. We've got work to do.